And here we are with the Wave 1 Voyagers. Well, Voyager for the Transformers Power of the Primes line. I'm going to talk about both of them in this review, but I'm going to focus on this guy. And this, of course, is the leader of the Dinobots himself, the mighty Grimlock. And we're going to check out everything to do with him in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Check out Machinery Man, the Everything Factor, me everywhere. And of course, spend some time on the channel. Check out some of the stop motions, countdowns, and reviews and see what it is that catches your interest. Now, I said I'm going to talk about both of the Voyagers here. Here's why. I'm not planning on picking up Starscream. I've seen him. I personally don't have an interest in him for a number of reasons. I don't think he should be a combiner at all. I don't like him as a Voyager. I think that's too large. I like him as a deluxe. I think he's about the size of the Autobot cars from my personal recollection. I know, of course, scale is debatable. I don't really like the proportions, but I'll say this, in hand his proportions are way better than they seem to be in pictures or even on reviews. So I wouldn't really discount him for that alone. I also feel like he is not G1 inspired enough for me. I don't like the fact that when you see him in robot mode, you can just see kind of the hollow side of his wings. I would like to have the painted detail there. And I feel like because of the foil stickers that are on him, some of them just don't look good, but some of them really put me more in the mind of, like, especially the ones up on his shoulder pylon things, really put me more in the mind of his incarnation on Transformers Cybertron. Or the way he looks in the current comic books, or current-ish comic books. He seems to be kind of a mix of Cybertron and G1, and it's just not for me. Now, his strengths. He's an awesome torso. He really is. Very interesting transformation to get to that. He is a Voyager. I mean, we've had deluxe Starscreams before. We've had a leader class. We've even had a little Legends class during, I think it was Thrilling 30s. For anybody who does want a Voyager, you know you got it. And for anybody who is a fan of the Cybertron series, I think now you at least have a little bit of a nod, so I can respect that. For me, the paint apps on Starscream, they would be about an 8.5, because you know that it's Starscream, there's no doubt. But do they necessarily all look good? They don't necessarily all look good. Some do, though. The articulation for him, I mean, it's your standard articulation, really. I would give that probably an 8 or a 9. Because, I'll say, that's probably pretty good. And his transformation, I don't like that nothing really happens with the legs in jet mode. I don't think that jet mode is particularly his best. I feel like that's the most sacrificed mode. But getting to his torso mode is definitely interesting. And not quite everything seems, in what I've seen and read about him, not quite everything seems to line up perfectly going into jet. So I would give his transformation probably about a 7. You know, so you would have, say, an 8.5, a 9, and a 7. Overall, Starscream would be about an 8, 8.25. A good figure, just not for me. So, now that I've sort of covered him, and if I do get a chance to actually review him, I will certainly do it. And who knows, maybe I'll update my thoughts then. But I just wanted to explain to people that I'm not planning on doing them and why. Because, you know, Combiner's not for me, Voyager's not for me. That Cybertron look is not for me. But I could also see all of those things being positives for other folks. Grimlock here, I'm a bigger fan of. Is he perfect? No, but he is better. Let's begin as we always do by taking him out of it. And we're going to have a look at his box. Let me just reposition this a little bit. And here is the box for Grimlock. You know, it's Grimlock down here. We have a weird window in the top that shows us nothing. I don't really know why. And over here we have all the symbols of the primes. There are 12 of them. I don't know where the 13th is. Some have argued that that's Optimus. And therefore, because he's getting a full leader class figure, we're not going to get a Prime Master of him. I guess we'll see. Over on this side, we have an image of Volcanicus, who is going to be the combined form. Some have said that Volcanicus is really just a renamed version of the Beast that appeared in, I think, one comic one time and was never talked about again, and probably rightfully so, because that's a terrible idea. On the back, we have Grimlock. We have his bucklers, as they're called. They're feet. They're combiner feet. Let's call it what it is. You can call them bucklers all you want, but they're combiner feet. It says, how will the legendary Dinobot leader wield the power of the primes? Nothing special there. His dino mode is robot mode. And I guess you kind of have a look over here for Volcanicus and some of the prime master interconnectivity. So we're going to take this out of it next. Here's the ever popular collector card. It's Grimlock. It's a nice image of Grimlock, actually. It looks very Grimlock-y. Again, there are 12 variants of this. I'm not getting all of them. I'm probably not going to keep this one. I really don't care about it. This is Megatronus Grimlock, and basically it says that he unleashes harsh justice on those who abuse power. Even if he's not connected with Megatronus, I think Grimlock kind of does that anyway. It's sort of the Dinobot thing to do. But he doesn't just come with a card. No. He comes with accessories. Maybe not the best accessories, but accessories. The first is the Enigma of combination for the Dinobots. Apparently the Voyagers are each going to come with some version of the Enigma. So this is the one that comes with Grimlock. It's basically sort of like the head of Nitro in the Last Night line. Like, its connection down here is a Titan Master, Prime Master type of connection. But I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. It doesn't transform or anything. It's just the Enigma, and we will see this again later when he's in combined mode. The other accessory he comes with is actually two accessories, and it's this. It's the molded foot. It's a foot. They call it a buckler, but it's a foot. And if you really want, you can. It can go on his arms basically, because you have a port here, a 5mm port here. It can go over a 5mm peg that's on his arm. This, of course, is the foot piece that goes up into whoever's going to be a leg. In the foot itself, you can put the Enigma in there if you want. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you can. And if you also really want, hey, you can have a face in there looking up at you, be it a Titan Master or a Prime Master. Again, I'm not really sure why you would want to do that, but hey, the option is there. So that's it for his accessories. He has two of these. I'm not going to show the other one because why bother? So we're going to finally get into Grimlock himself. Okay. And here we have Grimlock. Now, honestly, some of these I've done custom paintwork on, and if you've seen any of the reviews for this wave, you've seen some that have had a few touch-ups and some that I've done a lot on. Honestly, the only thing that I did here, the only thing I felt I need to do was make his visor blue. His eyes are now blue, and the dino eyes are blue. Besides that, honestly, there's nothing else that you could want to do on Grimlock. He's a 10. In fact, he's probably like a 19. It's Grimlock. There's no doubt. He is pretty perfectly animation accurate. I was very concerned and have heard stories about the chest not tabbing together. Mine tabs together very nicely, so I'm very lucky there. This is clear plastic with gold paint inside, I do believe, but it does feel very robust. I don't at all feel like it's going to break on me. So we're starting off with a 19. That's fantastic. Truth is, though, I didn't hate the other Voyager Grimlock that we got. That, of course, being this guy, the Fall of Cybertron Grimlock. I like this guy. And he's actually a little bit taller. Now, his body is more hollow than his body, but, I scored the paint apps on this guy at 8.5. Honestly, once I done the custom work on him, which was painting his thighs black and his abdomen red, really, and a couple of other things, but that was the bulk of it, I said he was a 9.5. The only reason I didn't give him a 10 is because this is more Fall of Cybertron inspired than G1. But both of these, as far as I'm concerned, is a great Grimlock. So taking this guy out of it, because we're starting off with such a good thing here with the paint, let's look at the articulation next. Well, the head, that can go left and right and up and down a bit. The arms can go way out to the side, which is great. They can ratchet all the way around. We have a double elbow that lets you get a super deep bend. We have a bicep swivel. We have hands, I guess, that can go in. They don't turn or anything, but you can flip them in, I suppose. On the back, his wing pieces move. His little dino arms move a little bit. Nothing to get excited about there. If we put his arms out to the side, the legs can go all the way out. He can do splits for days. The legs can go forward on a soft ratchet. They can go back. If you get that up out of the way, they can go all the way back. I said if you can get this up out of the way. This piece is going to be the waist piece, basically, for Volcanicus. We have a thigh swivel, and we have heavy ratchets on the knees. Some people have complained and said he has no feet, no toes. He does, but they're not out a lot, but that makes sense. Grimlock didn't have much in the way of toes in the original animation either. The only thing I think that really bothers me with this guy is this unsightly gap on the side because of the, combiner gimmick. I didn't need this guy to combine. And the only other thing is sometimes, you can give him an ab crunch forward, but it's really because he just comes untabbed from in here. His body just comes untabbed. It's not a big deal, but I guess it's a little noteworthy. And it doesn't come, he's not flimsy. It's not like he's just going to fall apart on you. I'm just saying it can come undone. Does he have a waist? Yes, he does have a waist. So that's also very nice. About the only thing that this guy could have would be ankle tilts, which he doesn't. Posability, playability is good in this mode. In Dino mode, his arms become the legs, as is typical. I said his little dino arms can move around, his mouth can open up, his head can move up and down. You still have all the range of posability in the arms when they're dino legs. As a torso, I guess he's an okay torso. 9.5. So we have a 19, we have a 9.5. Grimlock is scoring real well. Let's get into the transformation. It is similar to what we've always seen from a Grimlock, but with a little bit of a difference. Let's do Dino mode, and then we'll take a look at Torso mode and what we have so far for Volcanicus. So you straighten out the arm and fold in the fist. Straighten out the arm and fold in the fist. Nothing difficult so far. We untab the body. And we begin to bring it down. This will come all the way down underneath this red abdomen section. And come down here. Before we tab that together, we're going to tab his legs together and his tail together and bring that all the way down. We're even going to angle his legs back a bit. And that gives us the clearance to press together his chest again. We're going to angle that down and angle that down because they're going to be the dino legs. You can see where this is going. We bring around that chest piece and around that chest piece, and they will snap together. And we bring over his head, and this is Grimlock in his dino mode. A lot of people have said they don't like how wide the tail is and how it comes down to this nubby little point. I've considered painting this nubby little point silver, by the way. That might happen yet. You can angle the tail back a bit and have him standing up more like we used to think that a T-Rex stood up, which was higher, or you can bring that forward and bring the head up and bring the tail down more and give him more of that what we know a T-Rex to be now look. For me, just because I like the cartoon, I'm going to give him the old style look. The mouth does open up like I said, we have all that posability. I dig it. Some people have said you should take this waist piece for Volcanicus and bring it down. That's personal choice. I'm alright with him like this. Here he is next to the Fall of Cybertron Grimlock. I mean, it's your call which you prefer. This guy's a little longer in this dino mode. I like both of them. What can I say? I don't have a problem with them. As a matter of fact, I think the top-down view on this guy is a lot cleaner than it is on this guy. So taking him back out of it. Last mode to go to is Volcanicus mode, which is a little bit more involved than one might think. So, how do we do Volcanicus? Well, we begin by flipping up the head, opening up the chest. Then we take this chest and we bring it back up, and we bring it back up and tab it together. We open this out and we turn the waist around while bringing that waist piece down. So we turn the waist around while bringing this whole piece down. We split the legs. We bring up the tail, and we bring up the tail, and we turn the legs like that. That's what we have so far. As we have this accordioned out, we're going to bring the whole thing forward. When we bring it forward, we have two tabs here, or two slots here in the chest, and we have two rectangular tabs down here. That comes down just like that. The dino head comes over, and we can open up the mouth and bring it down. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this now. In this mode, you can take the enigma of combination and how is it this fits in here? Put it in like that. So you can see the enigma during combination. The shoulders come out to the side, out to the side. You turn the arms like that and like that. You bend the first elbow and you bend the second. And when you do so, you're going to end up tabbing the arm in behind. See if I can explain this. See if I can show this. There's a rectangular tab right there and it goes into a slot down on the arm. We did it to this side, now we need to do it to this side. Bring it around. And bring it in. We're getting there. Next, you want to take the Volcanicus head and bring it all the way down, and there's a gray panel here that snaps in. We bring the combiner head back, and there's a red piece back here that pushes down to sort of solidify the neck. Last but not least, we bring down these pieces. There is a slot up here and a rectangular tab up right here. You put that slot over the rectangular tab, that slot over the rectangular tab. And this is the core known as Volcanicus. You would slot an arm in here and an arm in here. I will tell you now, if you happen to use arms where the combiner peg is very tight, you're going to pop these shoulders out. If you happen to use arms where the combiner peg is, I'll say, comfortably tight, you know, there's some good tension, but it's not overly tight and clicky, the shoulders will stay just fine. In other words, these shoulders are better than, say, Skylinks or Motormaster, but it's not quite as good as, say, Superior. That being said, at this point, we don't quite have a full combiner, but we do have 3 parts of a combiner. So I'm going to take a second, get the legs on, and then we're going to talk about this just a little bit more before we get out of here. And officially, this is the combined form of Volcanicus at the moment. We have Swoop as one leg, we have Slug as another leg, and of course we're missing Sludge and Snarl. Word is that I think it's Sludge is supposed to be the other leg and Swoop is supposed to be an arm. I wouldn't do that. I would put up with Swoop's leg imperfections way over his arm imperfections. At least here he holds okay, and like any Combiner Wars, you know, we have a rotation there and we have a knee joint there, and we have the hips out because of Grimlock's hips, which are nice and ratcheted. And the feet are more like Computrons. There's a tilt to them, so that's good. There is a fan mode, and I'm just going to show quickly, and that's what's going to take us out of here, where you can open this up and open up the arm and bring it in and bring it down and turn it. And do the same over here where you open this up, bring out the arm, bring in the shoulder, bring the arm down, and turn it. And you can put one of those hands there, and of course, put one of those hands there. Put that down, and you can have a 3-combinered Volcanicus. I think this looks a bit ridiculous myself, but hey, it is inventive and it is creative, and it does show the ability to create with play, and for that I absolutely do dig it. A combiner Dinobot is not for me. I'm never going to have them combined. I'm going to use them as their Dinobots, but for anybody that's down for it and has been looking for a Dinobot combiner, so far I think this has turned out pretty good. We'll see when it's all said and done and we finally get wave 2. Anyway, transformation for this guy, 10. Paint apps, 19. Posability, playability, easily a 9.5. Grimlock is a good Voyager. If you can get one where his chest stays tabbed together. For those who have suffered with the loose chest pieces, hey, I feel for you and I get it. It would totally ruin the figure and make it terrible. Maybe I lucked out, or, you know, maybe it's just your results may vary. Buyer beware, I guess that's the best thing to say. But for my experience with the mold, I got to say, it's well up there and I'm pretty happy to add it. Let me know what you think of Grimlock. Let me know what you think of Volcanicus. And as always, I want to thank you for dropping by, giving me some of your valuable time, and I very much look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit right here inside the videos.